Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 2 of Trese. I am pretty excited because the first episode was pretty spooky. Had some good horror vibes to it, some good action vibes, some mystery vibes. It definitely kind of gave me those kind of feelings of other shows like X-Files and whatnot. Even a little bit of Supernatural there. And it was actually partially inspired by the former. It was partially inspired from what I read from X-Files, from Ghost in the Shell, and various other things like that. And that's pretty neat. Now, I did check out the English dub, or I guess the original English, prior to watching, or prior to doing this second episode. And while it's not bad, I very much do prefer the Filipino version. It's just, even though the English is the original and everything, and like, I think there's like bits of Filipino throughout it still, I think the Filipino version, it just sounds better. It's just that good, even if it's not the original. And sometimes that's the case. And honestly, it's like that's at this point what I want to watch it in. So we're gonna continue with that. There's only 6 episodes anyway, so it's not even really that big of a deal. But yeah, we're gonna continue with the Filipino dub. I don't know what else this is going to entail for only 6 episodes. I assume it's just going to basically be this one ongoing mystery with the with what's going on with these creatures and everything, and all the inner workings going on behind them. I guess we'll find out, though. I'm not going to waste any more time, and we're just going to get into this. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Even though Alexandra doesn't smile much or show like a lot of like positive emotion, I guess you could say. I like how there's still kind of a little bit of a level of teasing between her and her bodyguards and whatnot. We saw that at the end there when they're all around the table and like they're playing around with her, like, oh, we were the prize for these 2 lovely ladies. It's like, I feel objectified. It's like it's just a little fun ribbing. You could tell there's some banter there between them. That's nice to see. With Trese's job and everything, with what she does, you could tell like it takes a toll on her. It's very, very heavy to deal with, and she has like a lot constantly on her mind. Between all these different tribes and their inner issues, as well as the issues that are just affecting everyone around them. It's something that is that she's got to stay focused on in order to protect people. So yeah, it's gonna take a toll on her. But it's fun to see that there is a little bit of light ribbing going on, a little bit of fun within their, I guess you could say, family of sorts. and I mean, hey, as long as everything's consensual, it's like there's nothing wrong with like getting laid. It's like the 2 guys got to get with the Wind Girls, and it's like neat. That's just, yeah. Hey, it seemed all consensual. Everyone was good with it. It's like, yeah, all is good then. And this episode kind of focused on 2 different things. while also setting up for the future. Well, actually, kind of three different things. Because there's the stuff at the start with this rebel who in the past was murdering these bodyguards of this certain group who were this former military group, had these skull tattoos and everything. And she and her rebels were murdering them because apparently everyone from this military group were pieces of shit and, you know, were mistreating the people and specifically, like, went after her and her people and everything. So they were just getting revenge. And even though it was a flashback and everything, it's like we still got to see kind of like where Alexandra's mind was in that situation. And we see even her father looked disgusted by the dude, the commander, or whatever his rank was. Like you could very much see it and hear it in his voice that he was like, this dude's a piece of shit. He's not even repentant for his actions. He doesn't care that his men are getting killed. Like, he finds nothing wrong with what he did. And that's very clear, and it's kind of gross and disgusting. But we had that, and it just sucks that she went and killed, like, you know, the sex workers, too. It's like, you want to kill the bodyguards, the men? Okay, fine, fair enough. I get it. They did bad to you and to your people. I get that. But the sex workers were just innocent sex workers. It's like, they didn't deserve that shit. Don't take it out on them. But through the flashback, we also get to see that Alexandra was involved in cases from a young age. Even if she wasn't actively doing them by herself, she was working with her father. So she knew the police chief and everything well before this. I think he's the chief. I think that's his position. I might be wrong, but she's known him for a long time. So they have a good rapport. I mean, on top of just her, you know, taking over for her father after his disappearance or death or whatever. It's still not entirely clear. It's not directly. It hasn't directly said whether he has died or not, or if he just disappeared. But there's then a couple main things in the lead story. We first have this stuff about a mysterious racer. There's this drag racing going on, and there's this mysterious racer who's beating people, and it seems to be not human. And it's revealed pretty quickly that, well, he's not. He's this goat creature kind of thing. I don't remember what they called them in the series. A lot of the names and stuff are going to be hard for me to remember if I'm being completely honest, just because, well, Filipino's not my native language, to be completely fair. I'm going to try my best, of course, but it's like, it's one of those things that's going to be a little trickier for me. But I'll give it my all. I'll do my best. But yeah, he's one of that tribe. And we find out is like the prince of that tribe, basically. The leader is like has no idea where he is, what he's doing. So Alexandra, when meeting with him, agrees to get his son back while also searching for the girl. And so that's part of the plot. But then we also see there's these people in this certain village who are being struck by lightning in a very short amount of time. And it seems way too suspicious. So she puts together that it's this tribe of what appears to be like thunder gods or something like that. And we kind of put it together through talking with the father that, once again, it's the son. Seems to be a little theme in this episode with troublesome sons of the heads of these different clans. And so she kind of warns this guy. It's like, this needs to stop. We're going to do what we can to make it stop. And it's like, we need to uphold this balance, and you're not going to stop us from doing that, basically. And he's like, don't you threaten me. But eventually, both of these stories kind of come to a head. First, we see her race against the son. They're racing normally, but then he changes from his car and human appearance into his natural goat creature appearance. And although he's going to be winning, she uses the ability of these wind women in order to help her get the edge. And since he's using magic, she uses the idea that I can use magic too. It's fair. But he doesn't seem to like the idea. He reluctantly agrees to give her back the girl, though, because she basically threatens to tell his father. That's kind of funny. I like these two wind girls, by the way. I haven't really talked enough about them. But it's like, I think they're adorable. They're kind of hot. And I like their kind of... They're not ditzy, really, but they're bubbly. They have this really, really bubbly personality. They're cute. They're cute as fuck. And it's like, I like them. I would like to see them appear more, but they probably won't. They're probably one-off characters. And it sucks, because it's like, I think they're really fucking cute. Like, genuinely. But yeah, it's fun seeing them, like, turn into basically just literal wind to help her, like, you know, go faster. Which is really cool. It's a really fun idea. And they're even there at the end because, again, they slept with the bodyguards because that was their prize for helping out. And it's like, I mean, hey, if they're good with that, if they are perfectly good with that, then there's nothing wrong with it. If that's something that they are okay with, then all's Gucci. But yeah, so then we have the second part of this with the sun. And this comes into play at the end again. So we see, well, near the end, the sun comes and attacks Alexandra and her bodyguards, even destroying an arm of each of the bodyguards, though they seem to regenerate, which is pretty cool, pretty nifty. But they destroy the car as well, which is not pretty nifty. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting scene, because we see the son just, he doesn't give a shit. He's just a punk ass. And he's just like, I'll do what I want. So with the help from, with some help from Nuno and everything, that they end up grounding him, and that works. That seems to stop him. So, unfortunately, at the end, though, his father comes in, breaks into their house through the ceiling, because why not? And basically threatens Alexandra. It's like, a storm is coming. We're not going to help you when it does. And Alexandra's like, yeah, bring it. Pretty much. She's like, we'll be ready. We don't need your help. I like that she's standing her ground against these different tribe leaders who are being uncooperative. Like, we see some tribe leaders are being cooperative. Some of these different people are, but some aren't. And I like that she's, the ones who aren't, she's standing her ground against and not backing down, not showing fear, not, like, just not letting them walk all over her. She's staying strong, and I like that. I appreciate that she's this kind of character. And I just genuinely like seeing these kind of strong, badass female characters in pretty much anything, so I'm all good for that here. And again, we can see that even though she doesn't like smile or joke around too much, like we see there is a little light ribbing with her and her bodyguards. Like it's very clear. Like they have that kind of rapport with her to where they can tease her a bit at the end. Like, oh, we were the prize. I feel objectified. It's like that's cute. That's fun. But it's like they're not being serious or anything. They're clearly okay with it. They're clearly like fine because they got to sleep with two pretty hot girls. And the girls are completely good with it too. It's like, yeah, we had a good time as well. And it's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with enjoying sex. So hey, just have fun with it. Yeah, it just seems like they have a really good relationship. But we saw in the flashback, this is one thing I want to mention as well before we finish this up. We saw in the flashback that the father had different guards. So I'm wondering if, like, once Alexandra took over, if the other guards disappeared or were killed as well, or if they just weren't, like, chosen to continue serving her. Like, maybe she, as the new person in charge, I forgot exactly what the name of the position was, but maybe she got to choose her own guards instead, and she wanted these two rather than the original guards, the werewolf guards that we saw. Or maybe the werewolf guards did die. I mean, that's very possible. We don't know what happened to her father. If the werewolves like got into that kind of trouble too, it's possible that they could have disappeared along with him or died or whatever happened. So yeah, there's a lot of different scenarios for that, but it's interesting. It's just an interesting little detail in there, that she didn't inherit the same guards that her father had. But yeah, this is pretty interesting so far. We're only 2 episodes in, but I'm definitely invested. Like, between the supernatural elements, the horror elements, there's a tiny bit of comedy injected in at points, but the mystery stuff as well. It's like it's really fascinating, and getting to see like all these different tribes of supernatural creatures is pretty damn interesting, pretty damn cool. I'm just honestly kind of into it. It's pretty much my thing, which is good. It's good. I would prefer these not donation rewards, these poll shows to be stuff I like. There's been a couple of these poll shows that I didn't like so far, and we ended up dropping, so that sucks. But at least we've got a couple of poll shows that we have really enjoyed, Centaur World and now this, for example. So yeah, that's very, very good, and something I want to see more of going forward. And I don't know if we're going to get a season 2 of this one. I honestly just don't know if there's going to be a season 2. I don't know if one's already been greenlit or whatnot. But even if it is just 6 episodes, hopefully it like wraps up well enough. We'll see. We'll see. But either way, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on episode 2 of Trese down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.